This is the key to the chain rule differentiation, or actually differentiate practice for the test. And it says, this is a basic, so that means you're going to be using power rule. So that f prime of x equals -2 times +6 is -12. X reduced to the power to the -3 plus 3 times 8 is 24. Reduce x by a power, so that's x squared plus 11. First thing I want to do is I want to rewrite this guy. So this becomes 1/3 times 1 over x cubed plus 1 over 10 times x to the 7th, which is 1/3 x to the -3 plus 1/10 x to the 7th. So now it's straight power rule, so that y prime is -3 times 1/3 is -1x, reduce a power to the -4, plus 7 times 1/10 is 7/10, x to the 7 minus 1 is x to the 6th. Now this is product rule, so that f prime of x is the derivative of the first times the second plus the first times the derivative of the second so then this becomes a derivative of 2x minus 2 is just 2, because derivative of 2x is 2, derivative of -2 is 0. And then derivative of 3x squared is 3x cubed is 9x squared minus 2x. Now this is quotient rule. So quotient rule says this, y prime, bring the denominator up times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. So this becomes 8 minus 6x. Derivative of x squared is just 2x minus x squared. The derivative of 8 is 0. The derivative of minus 6x is just minus 6. Now you're either going to have the minus 6 in parentheses, or you'll have to have a time sign in between, because otherwise it will look like a subtract 6. This one is chain rule. So I'm going to rewrite him as ddw 4 times w squared plus 3 to the negative 5. That makes my life so much easier. So this becomes 4 times, the derivative of this guy is negative 5 times the blob, drop it a power, times the derivative of the blob so this is going to be minus 20 times w squared plus 3 to the negative 6 times 2w. Now this one needs to be rewritten as well, and this is dy dx of 8x to the 7th minus 10 to the 1/8. So that derivative is going to be 1/8 times the blob to the 1/8 minus 1, and that's just 8/8. That's what 1 is. So it's going to be minus 7/8 times the derivative inside, which will give me 1/8 times 8x to the 7 minus 10 to the minus 7/8 times the derivative inside, which is 56, x to the 6th. Page 2 says differentiate the given function and do not simplify your answer. This is chain rule, product rule. So what is f prime of x? Well, it's the derivative of the first times the second plus the first times the derivative of the second. So the derivative of the first is 3 times the blob squared. The derivative of x plus 3 is just 1. Plus x plus 3 cubed. Now the derivative of the second one is 5 times 2x minus 1 to the 4th. The derivative of inside is just 2. This is chain rule, quotient rule. And this says what's f prime of x? Bring the denominator up times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. So this becomes 2x minus 5 squared times the derivative of x, which is just 1, times 2 times the blob, reduce it a power, times the derivative of the blob, all over 2x minus 5 to the fourth. So f prime is 3 times the blob squared, that's chain, times the derivative of the blob, that's quotient, chain quotient. So it's 3 times x minus 3 over x plus 3 squared times the derivative of the blob is, bring the denominator up, times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. So it's x minus 3, derivative of the numerator is 1, minus, it should be an x plus 3. X minus 3 times the derivative of the denominator, which is just 1. Now if you want to simplify that, you can, but we'll just leave it there.